You know how it is. You're having a perfectly good day, feeling pretty good about your life, and then you open up social media. And just like that, what was totally fine a minute ago suddenly doesn't feel like enough anymore. Okay, let's get into this because we're going to unpack exactly why that happens and what some really ancient wisdom has to say about breaking free. You see someone your age who seems to be earning more or looking better or, just killing it in some way. And that one little thought just sneaks right in. Your stomach drops, your confidence just vanishes. It's a total gut punch, right? And that question, it comes from a really deep place, this need we all have to figure out where we fit in.
And that leads us right into our first big idea, the comparison trap. See, your mind is constantly measuring. It's constantly sizing things up, trying to figure out where you stand. It's like a built-in feature. But in the world we live in today, that feature has gone completely haywire.
But here's the twist. The real issue isn't just the act of comparing. It's when it becomes automatic, something we do without even realizing we're doing it. It's this unconscious comparison that completely disconnects us from our own lives, our own unique journey, and it's what leaves us with that awful, nagging feeling that we're somehow falling behind.
So why on earth does our brain do this to us? Well, it's not a personal failure, I promise you. To get it, we have to look at our mind's ancient code. This whole impulse is actually a leftover program from our deep evolutionary past. There's actually a name for it: social comparison. Think about it. For our ancestors, knowing your place in the tribe was literally a matter of life and death. Your rank determined if you got to eat, if you were safe, so our brains are hardwired with this deep primal survival instinct. And just look at this difference. It's kind of crazy. Our ancient brain was designed to survive in a small tribe of maybe, 150 people? Now it's trying to process a world where we can compare ourselves to millions of people online every single day. We went from measuring really concrete skills, like who's the best hunter, to these totally abstract things like follower counts and salaries. Our poor brain just isn't built for this. So if we're wired this way, are we just stuck? Well, no. Ancient philosophy actually offers a really powerful way out. Let's talk about finding your own unique purpose, or what the Bhagavad Gita, a foundational text in Hindu philosophy, calls swadharma. This quote, it gets right to the heart of everything. Swadharma basically means your own true nature, your sacred duty, the one path that is uniquely yours. The whole idea is that when you try to live someone else's life, even if you're amazing at it, it's always going to lead to stress and unhappiness. That unconscious comparison is the very thing that pulls you off your own path, which might be imperfect, yeah, but it's the right one for you. There's this classic story that just illustrates this so perfectly. It's the crow's journey. So it starts with a crow who's just miserable about his black feathers, and he deeply envies the beautiful white swan. But when he tells the swan how much he wishes he were white, the swan says, "Well, I thought I was the most beautiful until I saw the parrot, who has two colors." So the crow flies off to the parrot. And the parrot says, "Oh no, you need to see the peacock." Finally, the crow finds this magnificent multicolored peacock admired by everyone. But the peacock is trapped inside a cage. And the peacock looks at the crow and says, "I'm admired for my beauty, sure, but because of it, I'm caged. I envy you, crow, because you can fly freely anywhere you want." And right then, it hits the crow. He had been so busy trying to be someone else, he never realized the incredible value of his own freedom. Okay, so understanding your path, that's one thing. But how do you actually walk it when the whole world seems to be constantly judging you? This brings us to a really practical skill, the art of developing what's called an equal mind. I mean, think about all the people in your life, right? You've got the honest well-wisher whose praise just makes you feel amazing. Then there's the envious friend whose little comments can just ruin your entire day. You've got the neutral person who doesn't seem to care either way. Oh, and of course, the comparing relative who's always asking why you can't be more like your cousin. And maybe you even have an outright insulter. Every single one of them pulls your emotions in a different direction, and it leaves you feeling totally unstable. So here is the absolute game changer. You cannot change them. You just can't. The real work isn't out there trying to manage their opinions, it's right in here. The art of an equal mind is creating a little bit of space between what they do and how you react. It's about choosing to stay steady, whether you're being praised or criticized. That's real power. It isn't controlling other people, it's mastering your own internal state so that nobody else can. And for our final idea, what if you could take all that pain, all that sting of comparison, and not use it as a weapon against yourself, but actually use it as fuel?
The story of a young prince named Dhruva shows us exactly how to find our own pole star.
So Prince Dhruva was just a little boy, and he was deeply, deeply hurt when his stepmother told him he couldn't sit on his father's lap. She said he was unworthy compared to her own son. It was a pain born entirely from comparison. But here's what he did. Instead of staying stuck in that hurt, he redirected all that intense energy. He went into the forest and poured every ounce of that pain into this powerful resolve, meditating with a determination so fierce that he was eventually rewarded with an eternal position as the pole star, the fixed guiding light in the night sky. He literally turned the sting of comparison into an unshakable guiding purpose for everyone.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. True freedom, real transformation. It all starts on the inside. It's not about waiting for the world to change or for people to treat you differently. It's about fundamentally changing your own internal state, your own reactions, and where you put your focus. So the next time you feel that pang of comparison, maybe don't see it as a failure. See it as a signpost. That feeling is just the starting point of a journey. The real question you get to ask yourself is, where are you going to let it take you? What is your destination?